The moment you find out the kids are not yours, you have to stay anyway. Who else gonna raise some kids? Even though you find like you're already so invested, you already love them. Why not stay? That's the L you have to take as a real man. Yes, sometimes people get in car accidents. This time you just have to take care of a kid that was not yours. Like as a real man, yes, she cheated, but what are you gonna do now? You're supposed to uphold that family. Because now that little boy and little girl is gonna grow up fatherless because you decided to be selfish and take your money back. Like, sir, you already been there from the start. Like, go ahead and take that shit. As a real man, step the fuck up because their real dad didn't. You don't know who the fuck that is. And you were so lucky to be gifted a child by God. As a real man, you're supposed to take that L. Don't ever get a DNA test. A DNA test is so disrespectful to women. Like, And a real man is not me, nigga. Fuck that.
Listen, you had us in the first half. You had us in the first half. Listen, I think this was a fantastic post. Just, sometimes you worry. You worry about the state, the mentality of a lot of our brothers, but, he had us in the first half here. But listen, like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss new uploads. Still going strong, still doing 2 a day. If you just seen this video, you've been a subscription, you subscribed for a minute, right? Since June, you're OG, and you haven't seen a video, you haven't got a notification on your phone in the morning or in the afternoon. Yeah, check the notification bell. I want to go over this video just because a lot of what he's saying, there are a large subset of people that believe, and this is when I say people, I see men and women, people, they believe that this is what you should be doing, minus the last part where he's just saying it's not me. They believe, and especially in the Black community, I remember in the 90s and the 2000s, there was in like 2000, I want to say, no, earlier than that, maybe 2005. There was this moment, there was a movement, there's this push. And I remember they had t-shirts and everything. I'm not the dad, I'm just a dad that stepped up. Right? Yeah, t-shirts and everything promoting this. And even to this day, there are some people that say you need to go and raise another man's kids because this is what we need as healing in the Black community. And in the most altruistic sense, I get it. I get what they're saying. It's just unpalatable to me. If you want me to engage in that, there's got to be an understanding. First, there has to be an understanding, in the Black community. It's what we sort of lack, this ability to understand or call some things that are mistakes, call them mistakes. I chose the wrong man. That's fine to say. Things went left. That's fine to say. But I think what makes it unpalatable for most men, why they have trouble understanding, is because the community makes it seem like it's fine, like it's normal, like something's wrong with you if you don't also think this is fine. You think that a man's like, we try to, sometimes we make fun of men. We say the idea of you having a legacy or wanting a legacy, being desirous of a legacy, somehow that's wrong, or it doesn't make sense. You don't have anything to pass on. That doesn't stop the intrinsic sort of desire and push that we feel. Just in the same light that women have that maternal instinct. We get the baby fever when you want to have another child, even though the first child was a harrowing experience. You still desirous of having another child very shortly after. How many women I know I've talked to said, yeah, pregnancy was terrible, terrible, awful. This and this happened. And then months later say, I want another baby. This is just the drive, the human drive in you. That's the same way men feel about having a legacy. So to shame us for being desirous of that is foolish. Furthermore, when men are saying, but I want my legacy, I want to see me passed on. Is it selfish? Cool. Call it that. That's not going to stop the train. That's not going to stop men from understanding this is what I want. This is what's important to me. The more you fight me on it, the, maybe I get quieter, but I just don't say those same things around you. I just remove myself from the situation and go where I can get what I want. And obviously, we want a fair exchange. We want someone that actually wants the same things that we want at the same time that we want it. But one of the things that's plaguing, and we're going to take it away from the Black community, But when we have the rise of single motherhood, just in the West, it's because we don't have this. One of the reasons we don't acknowledge that there isn't this understanding that, yeah, this is not the most advantageous thing. We simply say a woman's value is not determined by what she did in the past or the amount of kids she has. Yeah, it is. If we don't know the specifics of that situation, right? We all understand there's exceptions to the rule. Not everyone is the same. Not everyone has the same situation. Some people, some women have gotten with really shitty dudes, with really shitty dudes. Some women don't really see a problem with having multiple kids with multiple men. They see this as normal. Those women tend to come from, houses where that was the norm, where you were told and taught how to play around that, and that becomes normal. There are women that have the whole system down to a science. I used to have a coworker way, way, way back in the day where he's saying if he could magically be born as a woman, he would get pregnant by, and just go, we're in New York, get pregnant by a cop, a firefighter, and a sanitation worker, and then he'd be set for 18 years. Yeah, mathematically, it makes sense. Right? It makes sense even back then when we were talking about this in the early 2000s. But reality is, when men see that, they have a hard time understanding, like, this is something that I should attach myself to and I should be part of. I should dedicate my life, my resources to doing this. And when men do decide to do that, overwhelmingly, they come away and say it really wasn't worth it because the difference in how I was treated, or the things I was not, or I was capped at doing because I wasn't the father. Or probably most commonly, most importantly, is the type of gratitude and recognition that is not shown after doing the work, after being there and raising the child, even when the other father is known. Right? We're not saying these are the ones where you try to pull the wool over his eyes. No, these ones are no. The baby father's over there. He does nothing, or at the very least, he sends a little money every month. But you're the one that poured your values, your resources, your time into the child. You coached Little League. You showed up to the PTAs. You took time off. You were there when they were hurt. You were there with their celebrations. And then when it comes to the big ones, naturally, genetically, there's something that pulls us and wants us to know about where we came from. Boys, girls, children don't understand. And to be fair, it's not on them to understand. That innate curiosity that's burning with them to say, I want to meet my father. When the guy that had the mantle, that had the role, that wore the cape and the crown for years of your life is sitting there and has to listen to it, has to hear that. It cuts deep in a way that I don't think men are given enough credence to when they have to deal with that. But listen, if you think I missed something, of course, let me know down in the comments. I'm always down for the discourse, always down for the dialogue. I really like how he began this video, and I like how he saved it at the very end. If you see videos on your screen right now, take a look at those. Let me know what you think about those and those videos. And if you haven't joined the channel, you have subscribed. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? You're killing me. You're killing me. Right? We're just trying to pay the rent. I'll see you in the next one.